Hi folks, I've got a winter update for you. It might not be all that quick because there's not a lot to show you really. Just sort of give you an idea of how much things are suffering here in winter. But I just thought I'd start off with this. This is a fruit, a nice big red papaya that I'll be picking soon. It's going to ripen on the tree. It's too short, like I'm kneeling on the ground here. See, it's only just above the ground. So fingers crossed no birds are going to find it. So I'm about to just completely ripen it on the tree. But yeah, nice big size, hey? I'm happy with that. It's only a short tree. It's only a few feet high. But yeah. Nice big size fruit. And even though it's winter, it's putting out more fruit. Everything is, even these fruit are growing slow, but it's definitely doing it. It's putting it out. And I've noticed that's a real trait of the mother plant. I found this fruit tend to not bear as heavy as that one big tree that I had, but it sort of has a little kink, has a little like banana like twist to the fruit on the end, sometimes, not always, as this fruit hasn't got that. But yeah, it was just a nicer tasting fruit. I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, there we go. See that there? That's one of the wounds from that fruit spotting bug. And I think they're pretty well gone now because it's so cold. It's been very cold the last few days. Well, about as cold as it ever gets here. And it's too cold for me really. Although, you know, I've been living here most of my life, but I've never enjoyed the winters. It's been getting down to about 8 degrees Celsius. That's about as cold as it gets here. You know, we might get a day or two of, where the evenings get to 6 or 7. That's pretty well. I don't think it's ever been lower than 6 degrees Celsius around here. You know, with some luck it won't even get any worse than 8. But yeah, that's got rid of all the fruit spotting bug, I think. For now, I think it's too cold for them. But yeah, that's what they do. They bite into the tree and severely damage them. But this tree's got through it, hasn't been bit too much. And so yeah, I'm standing up here now, so this tree's just a tiny bit taller than me. So it's not even 6 foot high. It's got that nice big fruit there, hey? So, you know, fingers crossed this is going to be quite a nice tree. Especially next year. It's going to bear quite well, I think. This tree, oh, it's a bit sad. This plant, I always say, papaya tree, don't I? But they're not a tree. This one got damaged a lot more by the fruit spotting bug. You can see in there. See, it's got quite a few wounds in there. But, you know, with some luck it'll get through it. And there's my other tree, slightly bigger. Tends to be doing better. I did pick a fruit off that recently. It wasn't too impressive though. Oh, you know, it was maybe half the size of this fruit. But I wasn't overly impressed with it. It wasn't as red as I wanted. See, I've finally realised now that my seed stock the original seeds I bought is not so good, because like I've grabbed the best seeds from the best fruit out of quite a few trees that I've planted, and there's still crosses and mongrels coming out of it. You know, there's the best seeds from my best fruit. I've planted them now, and I'll get a range of different fruits, which is a pity. Like I really want this fruit, these nice big long red papayas, but I'm getting a range of different types of fruit. Like there's an example in there. And this tree has finally shown itself, and see, it's a round fruit, the damn thing, and that's from the same seeds of the same tree as this. And I picked the best fruit, the best seeds from the best fruit, from the middle of the best fruit. They say to grab the seeds in the middle, leave the seeds at each end of the fruit. And yeah, so I've got one of these, which is about how I want. This tree is almost true to type, to the original parent that I got the seeds from, but I got these damn things too, from the same seeds. And now that fruit tends to be not so special. It's still a red, but it's quite a hollow fruit. Those round ones, not a real lot of flesh. Yeah, disappointed to get that. And I found, yeah, there's 3 along that edge, and all 3 seem to be the same. Oh, just a moment, I'll get my breath back. Too much talking and I get out of breath. Yeah, so yeah, I've got those 3 trees on that edge there. 3 red papayas. And they've all got round fruit, unfortunately. Yeah, and oh, there's big Hawaiian gold. Has been producing quite well for winter. As you can see there, see how sad it's looking. There's leaves there that almost appear to be damaged by frost. But that's a disease actually. I forget what they call it. It might be black spot or something like that. And it tends to affect all the pawpaws around here in winter. The stress of winter brings on the disease. And if I sprayed different fungicides, it might give it more resistance. But I found it's just not. It tends to be no real big deal. Everything sort of gets hurt and goes back in winter, and as soon as things warm up in spring, they grow out of it. So yeah, you know, this tree's been struggling for a few years now, and but it'll keep limping on and bearing fruit. Well, fingers crossed for a while yet. Well, there's a good example of that Madeira vine. Unfortunately, that plant's come up from the neighbour's yard, and now it's growing into my yard. See, it looks so much like that climbing spinach. Might even be related. So much like the Ceylon spinach, and it's edible as well. The leaves are quite nice, very juicy, got a lot of moisture in them. but it's just a rampant weed. I wouldn't grow in any place with any sort of rainfall, otherwise it'll just take it over your whole yard. It'll just climb over everything and strangle it. It's something I don't, it's not declared a pest even yet, but it might soon. But it's something I'd only grow in arid areas. Really, you might find it's okay in arid areas, but anywhere with a decent bit of rainfall, and it's a real problem, So even with that, I've got to try to reach over in the neighbour's yard and try and pull it out. And it's virtually impossible to stop, It's just going to keep coming back. And like as you've seen before, it's all through my backyard. It came over from a neighbour 10 or more years ago, and at the time I just never realised how serious it was. But then I got a hold in this yard, and yeah, now my health's not so good. So I think even if you're healthy, if you had a group of men, you'd be struggling to get that stuff out, The way it is with my yard, you almost like need a machine. Get a machine in there, clear everything out, and start from scratch. To get rid of that Madeira vine. That's what they call it. I think you can look it up on Google. I'm pretty sure it's spelled Maderia. Yeah, you can eat the roots. It grows bulbs that it drops all over the place. You can eat the bulbs as well. But yeah, it's a problem. And so my seedlings here again. The pomelos don't mind the cold. But my poor old jackfruit and my mammy sapote there, they're a bit sad. They're not real happy because it's so cold. Oh yeah, and I've noticed something too. I thought this here was a custard apple, and now I'm not so sure. As it's got older, the leaves are much rounder than my other custard apples that I've grown from seed. And I'm thinking that could be a persimmon, because I did put some persimmon seeds in as well. So unless it's a custard apple with some type of variation, that might be a persimmon tree. So that'll be nice, because I really like persimmons. But yeah, these other little trees here, they're KJ Pinks, Paxton Prolific custard apples that come up from the seeds. Yeah, and this banana tree is still, well, it's hardly grown in for a year, because there's a borer in it. I've been thinking I might try to save it soon. Perhaps the only way to save it is dig it out and cut the butt right back and try and get all the borers out of the butt, and then plant again in spring. And perhaps I can salvage it. Although, I'm not over. I have grown some really nice bunches of this variety, but I'm not over fussed on the taste. And I've got the ladyfinger bananas at the back now. They are much better eating banana. I certainly prefer them. I'll just give you a quick look. The custard apple, it always goes back in winter. Yeah, it's dropping a lot of leaves and it's not real happy. And well, it always does this in winter. Everything gets a bit sad. dragon fruits, no change really in the dragon fruit. It seems to handle the cold fairly well. The wine yellow pawpaw, maricot cutting, still hanging in. Sort of gone back a little bit from the cold, but it's not too bad, I think. I'll show you my papaya inside here. So you can see these other two. See, I've got 3 along here, and all 3 of the damn things are putting out a round fruit, which is not what I want. I want the big long reds. But they've come from the same batch of seeds, and yep, there's just mongrels crossed into my strain, so that's unfortunate. From the original seeds that I got right from the beginning, there's a mongrel crossed into it. Although the interesting thing is, I have not got one male out of all the seeds I've planted. They are all hermaphrodites. Every one so far bears fruit and self-pollinates itself. But yeah, I just don't want these round ones. I think, well, I'll let them grow bigger. I'll try the fruit in case I'm wrong and the fruit's perhaps better than I expected, but I will probably chop these out again, because I've got other trees now, other young seedlings, small young plants that can replace them immediately. So, you know, I don't have a lot of space, so I'd really just like to have those big long reds, and that's all I want here really. So, you know, I'd like, just for here, I'd like 3 big, 3 of the dwarf ties, heavy bearing trees. I don't want to muck around with these things. They just don't bear enough fruit, and the fruit's just not good enough. Not good enough for me. Yeah, so I learned a trick from a Vietnamese Facebook page who really love their custard apples, and I tried this last year, and like, see how the leaves are yellowing. The leaves get quite sick. It's dropped leaves, and it's going to get worse yet too, probably, before it gets better. It's well, yeah, it's the 17th of July 2020, so it's only 6 weeks away from spring. The first day of spring is September the 1st, but I assume this tree is going to get a lot sadder yet. Because, like, you know, now everything's really beginning to suffer now. It's been quite cold for a while now, over a month, and the last few days in particular have been very, very cold, and it really starts taking its toll on these plants that prefer warmer conditions. But I found well, something they do in Vietnam is they pick all the leaves off, everything, at the end of winter, because the leaves are sad anyway, so they pick every leaf off. And I tried this last year and it worked quite well. So you get rid of all those sick leaves, and the tree just shoots out new growth in the spring, and everything's happy, all nice, happy, healthy leaves. And it's not sort of struggling on with these sick, sad leaves. So yeah, you know, years ago I would have never thought it was a good idea, but it pays to try what other people are doing, you know, and the Vietnamese are just so good at growing They're some of the best gardeners in the world, in my opinion. They're either some of, if not the best gardeners in the world in Vietnam. They've got so much knowledge. Yeah, I can't quite remember the name of the Facebook page, but if you see on any Vietnamese Facebook pages, gardening groups, follow them, because there's a lot you can learn, eh? They're really smart people. So yeah, you know, well, remember I was saying I want to take air layer cuttings from this tree, but I just left it too late. It just got too cold. So yeah, in another 5 or 6 weeks or a bit longer, I'll probably pick all the leaves off this tree, let it re-sprout, and then when it's warmer I'll take a whole heap of air layer cuttings. I'll be taking at least 10 cuttings off this, maybe more. So that the, do you remember I was saying all these horizontal branches now, they can all go now. They can all be chopped off, all these branches that are horizontal and sagging down to the ground. They're not needed anymore, because I've got the water shoots. Like this, these are the water shoots that have finally come up. And they're ready to grow up tall. They're not going to be hanging down as badly as these other branches. Look at how much that's hanging. I explained a bit more about that in my past videos. If you want to know more about that. Now this is a graft from a horizontal branch. A horizontal branch has been grafted onto this rootstock, and it just wants to grow horizontal. But it's still, the horizontal branches bear the most fruit. They're always the heavy bearing branches that they have heavy crops. But after 5 years it's finally shot up this water shoot, and now it's going to start growing upwards instead of out and down. And it's my veggie garden. It's served me well lately. Doesn't look so special, but I'm heavy picking this garden. And I don't know if you noticed, but I think I'm even breathing a bit better, because I'm eating so many fresh raw greens. I think that's what's doing it. It's making my breathing a fair bit better. There was a lot of big leaved nasturtium leaves here, twice as big as that leaf, and it covered most of this garden actually. It was shading out these celery plants and the mint. But I've been heavy picking and adding a lot of nasturtium leaves to my salads. And this stuff, the Ceylon spinach, see how it looks so similar to that Madeira vine. You know, they could even be closely related. I've got friends in the Philippines who just call this climbing spinach. I've known it to be Ceylon spinach. It's probably got a few other names. This is nowhere near as rampant as that Madeira vine, but it's very easy to grow. It's a really good plant to have actually. It'll just give you constant greens for your salads. And I've been picking this hard. I've been picking this hard the last few weeks. And it's got a good taste. It's quite a juicy leaf. It's got a lot of moisture in it. So, you know, it adds, stops your salads from getting too dry. You know, it's always a good idea to add cucumber or tomato to a salad, but to add, put some moisture in your salad. But you put enough of these leaves in and you don't need to do that. It adds a nice lot of moisture. I've still yet to try these seeds. I might even do it right now, just try a bit of the juice. So if I drop dead on the camera, you know what did it. See how deep red that juice is. I'll see what it tastes like. Yeah, I was thinking it might be sweet, and it is. It's a tiny bit sweet. I guess, you know, it's probably quite edible. I just don't know for sure, so I've just been reluctant to try it. But yeah, I've just put a tiny bit of that on my tongue, so hopefully I won't get any negative reactions. Probably not. It's probably very edible. Anyway, I've noticed I was going to show you more, but I'm almost out of, my battery's almost run out. So, that might be just about it. If it cuts off, you'll know what happens. I'll have to recharge and I'll continue with this update. But yeah, I've been picking some nice salads out of here. The lettuce have grown quite well. They don't look like much now, but that's because I'm just picking so many leaves off them. I'm hitting it hard, this garden, and it's served me well. And my body does agree with it too. My body does like these raw veggies, and it helps my breathing, and it's very good for healing, I think. I've got another garden at the back that I've been hitting hard too lately. See if I can show you at the back before the battery dies. Here's another little thing I thought I might mention. See these mandarin skins I've been throwing around. The downside is it can attract rats. It'll bring more rats in. But the reason I've done it, you know, there's a method in my madness, is citrus skins keep cats away. Cats can't stand it. Citrus skins. So there's been cats wandering through this little pathway recently, unfortunately, and neighbours' cats. So, but now these skins here, I very much doubt any cats have been walking through here lately. These skins will have to dry out a lot more before a cat dares to walk through here. So that's amazing, eh? It's citrus skins. It's like kryptonite to cats. They can't stand it. So it's one way to keep cats out of your garden. Lemon skins is the best, I think. Orange skins are perhaps the second best. But I eat a lot of mandarins, so, and they work just as well, or they work quite well. They still do the job. And these are my soursop. They're looking quite well. They've lasted this winter quite well. So yeah, I've got them in this new spot now. And they don't get enough sun, but they get a bit. Seems to be enough to help them to hang on. Yeah, they're hanging on quite well. They seem to have got used to this potting mix. You might remember I was complaining about this potting mix a little while ago. It's not, well, you know, the brand is the Scots. They say it's a premium potting mix. Well, it's not that good. It's a bit cheap and nasty. And these trees had a bit of shock when I first transplanted them into it. But they seem to have got used to it now, and I'm happy with that. They're hanging on very well through this winter. My papayas here, they are struggling. These are my papaya seedlings. I'll just get my breath again. You probably prefer when I don't talk anyway, huh? I'll just show you these for a moment and get my breath back. Yeah, well, yeah, these papaya here, these are my very best seeds. These are from my very best fruits, from my very best tree. That really heavy bearing dwarf red papaya that I had growing. All these seeds are from that, all these young tree plants. But I guess there's going to be mongrels crossed in with this as well. There's mongrels in this strain. And that's a real pity because I was really hoping to sell these seeds. I was going to sell these seeds on eBay. But they're just not good enough. I don't want to wreck my name. You know, if I start selling seeds or something, I want to have good quality seeds, and you know, these have got a cross in with it. So, you know, and I bought seeds off someone, or these seeds. You know, I bought these seeds off someone. They've given me inferior seeds. That's a real shame, you know. The seeds they've given me, some plants are excellent, which is what they say. I'm about to be cut off, going to go in a minute. Yeah, some seeds are excellent, and most of the seeds just don't make the grade. They don't cut it. They're not what they said. They're not the big long reds. They're these round reds that are just nowhere near as good. Anyway, or maybe I should just cut it off now because it's flashing and we're out of power. So I'll continue on tomorrow and join it together. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my winter update. Bye for now. Hi folks, this is the second part of my winter update. A few days passed because we had some wind and I didn't want it messing with my speakers. I've still got to get one of those dead cat things or whatever they call them that you put over your speakers, over your microphone to stop the wind noise. I've found out a way to make one actually, a special sort of filter to filter out the wind. But anyway, yeah, it's the 22nd now, the 22nd of July, and I'll just finish this this update, and I want to show you how I make a vegetable wrap. It's something I do with my garden. I make a vegan vegetable wrap and try to eat it every day. But yeah, I'm sort of starting where I finished last time. I did just want to show you, see now I've, you remember a few months ago, because I had to chop these trees back because they got savaged so hard by that fruit spotting bug. And I chopped it, this was the biggest one, this is an Hawaiian gold again. And you know, it was twice as high, it was doing really well, but it got munched badly by that fruit spotting bug. So I chopped them back, and at first it was quite bushy. You'll see here's a few other trees too now. At first at the stem it was quite bushy, but now I've picked the extra branches off and just trained one branch. That's a good example there actually. That was one of the first I did. You know, it threw out lots of branches, got quite bushy where it had been chopped. And I've picked all those off and just trained one branch. And as I was saying in an earlier video, before long you won't even know I've chopped them. It'll just, oh, they'll be shorter, but they'll just join on it all just becomes one solid stem and you won't even know they've been chopped. So yeah, you know, a few more months. That tree there, that's doing quite well now. You won't even know it's been chopped. And this is one of the last I did. I've only just pulled off the excess branches just recently. So that growing shoot is still quite short. I was leaving it bushy for a while. I was thinking the extra leaves might help shade these fruit. But now it's so cold, I'm thinking that, you know, these fruit would even enjoy a bit of sunshine to warm them up. Get a bit of sunlight warmth into those fruit and hopefully they'll fill out some more. Yeah, so as I was showing you, oh yeah, I was going to, did I mention it's an overcast day today? It's probably going to rain soon, either tonight or even it could start spitting any moment, so hopefully it won't do that. But yeah, they're predicting rain for the next few days. So there's not much wind around, so I thought this is a good time to just finish off my update. And yeah, it's quite cold for the daytime, but the nights aren't as cold with this cloud cover the last few days. But yeah, as you can see, I was showing you that my papayas are really struggling now. They do not like the cold, and they get a number of diseases during winter. But they usually grow out of it as soon as spring comes, I've found. Like there, I think I'm not sure what that's called. I think it's black spot. Something like that. That's one of the diseases that these plants have. Those black spots on the leaves. And yeah, it comes every winter, then it goes away in spring. So, you know, and yeah, the cold brings it on. And also I was mentioning, yeah, you sort of get this stuff. I think this is another disease. There's a bit of an example of it, but you'll see there's complete leaves that sort of look like they've been hit by frost. And that's another disease or a virus. And yeah, it only affects them in winter because it is just that little bit too cold for these type of, you know, these plants really prefer the tropics. So, and it does just get, oh, there's an example there, look at that leaf there. Well, it gets even worse than that actually. Oh, there's a much better example. Look at these leaves dying off. And it sort of looks like they've been hit by frost. But yeah, it is a disease. And you know, I found it's no real drama. I could spray fungicides and it might help, but it just tends to happen from the cold. The cold brings it on, and they'll grow out of it in spring. See, and there's a papaya there that's still a bit bushier. I haven't cleared as many leaves off it. You know, these other ones I've picked nearly all the extra branches. You know, when I first chopped them, they shot up quite bushy. That's an example. See, it's sort of quite bushy. It's got a lot of excess branches, and I'll just show you how I pick them off. It's just simple, really. See, there's a branch there. Can you see that okay? There's a lower branch. Just give it a quick snap off, just like that. That's it, and it's gone. You know, not needed. This will be the main branch I'll let grow. Yeah, I'll take that one off too as well, actually. Let's break it off. These lower branches, just snap them straight off. No, it's no problem. They'll more than likely get over it, and I'll just let that one branch grow and snap that off as well. That little bit. See, and there we go, and that's one branch now. All the energy will go into that one branch. and before long you won't even know it's been cut back. That'll just join on and continue to grow. And actually they're doing okay considering it's winter. Some of these, like, yeah, these are recent ones. I've just done the same as I just did there, just training one branch to grow up. These ones I've done a little bit further back a few more months ago, and there's more growth. And yeah, it's not bad growth. Kind of a little surprised, like that one in particular. It's put on a lot of growth considering it's so cold. And it's doing quite alright. But everything's pretty much ground to a halt now. It's just so cold now. We've had some really cold nights and it's really starting to take its toll. So yeah, I'll just throw those branches down there. They'll rot and add to mulch. Add to the mulch. Oh yeah, what else was I going to show you? Remember this is a good example of what this damn Madeira vine does. Remember I was saying it looks so much like Ceylon spinach. It's edible, but it's a real pest. And remember underneath this is my black sapote tree. It's climbed up my black sapote and it's virtually just strangled it, hasn't it? There's hardly any leaves showing. So, you know, I've really got to get onto that. I've got to kill that vine off, pull it out. Because yeah, in just a short time, that's only been like just a few months, and it's completely, it's strangling my black sapote, killing it. And it's about to start strangling this papaya as well. So I've got to pull that out really soon. You can see there's more of this damn stuff. I don't know if you remember the video from a few months ago. You get an idea of how quickly it grows, and to the left there, that bulge to the left just there, I have a dwarf avocado trying to grow underneath that damn stuff. You know, so again, I've really got to chop that back, chop that vine back so the poor old dwarf avocado can grow. You know, see, it's just killing it. And yeah, because my health is not so good, it's a real effort now to get in there. And, well, it's an effort at the best of times. It's a really rampant vine. You know, it's not a noxious weed, it's edible, but it's a real problem. And yeah, as I said before, it came in from a neighbour's yard more than 10 years ago. And it's just got a hold in here and it's a problem. You know, and my mate who got me in all the trouble, he was working in here and he cleared this back for me and he got nearly all the vines, but it's, you know, he got a lot of it. He did a really good job actually, because it was up through everything. You know, you can see that it's back up in the ice cream bean tree again. And it's just getting away on me again. Seeing it's all through there. It's really thick in there and it just keeps dropping bulbs. You know, you pick it, then you got to really watch it because it'll just come back again. You got to just keep on it constantly. I really need a gardener to help me with it, and the money to pay a gardener. So, otherwise it's going to beat me again. But I've got to do that with that black sapote and my avocado. I've got to do that like immediately. A month ago, I should have done it. So those trees don't die. What else was I going to show? Oh yeah, this is the Hawaiian pawpaw again as well. It'll grow into a big tree like that one. See, it's even throwing out flowers. So it's probably going to set some fruit even in spring. Like I said, it's about 5 weeks away now to the first day of spring. But these last 5 weeks is usually when the plants suffer the most, because it gets, it's just catching up on them now. It's been cold for so long, and now it's at its coldest. This is the coldest part of the winter, and all the tropical plants are suffering. Yeah, I'll just give you a quick look at my papaya, because a few days have passed and it's ripening so quick. I thought you might find interesting. I'll give you a quick update when I pick it too. Look at that, eh? It's only been a few days since I was showing you the update, the first half of this update. So now it's the 22nd. Sorry, I forget the date. I did the first day, but I say it at the beginning of the video. But yeah, look how much more colour it's got. It's getting very close now. But I want to try and let it ripen up more yet, hopefully. Let it get as much colour as possible. It's even getting a tinge of orange there, isn't it? Which is just beautiful. That's what you want for a good red papaya. It's fully tree ripened. The colour should be more than just yellow. It should even be orange, So yeah. Looking forward to picking that, and I'll show you when I do. I'll give you just a quick bit of video when I pick that. And I'll cut it open, and I guess I'll collect the seeds. I'll pick the best seeds out of the middle of the fruit. That's what they say you're supposed to do. Leave the seed at the ends, at each end, and just get the seeds in the middle. But as I was saying, there's a mongrel crossed in with this seed. So unfortunately I don't want to sell it. I was planning to sell these seeds, but they're just not good enough, and I wouldn't want to do, the people I bought the seeds off, they either sold them to me through inexperience, or maybe they even knew what they're doing. But it wasn't good, they've wasted my time in many respects. I've been trying to selectively breed this strain, and now I know I'm wasting my time with it. I can still selectively breed it, actually who knows, I might even come up with something better. But it's not what I wanted. I wanted something much more true to type. A much more true to type seed. I didn't want to, again, this seed, I'll grab the middle of these seeds, I'll plant them, and some of them will be round, like those fruit in there. So, that's really disappointing. I don't want that to happen. And I'm pretty sure it shouldn't happen if I had the right seed. Although, like I was saying, I haven't grown one male. They've all been, like 90% female, 10% male, like just enough male to fertilise them, to self-pollinate. But yeah, I don't want any of those damn round fruit that are through there in the back, because they tend to be hollow. Oh, they're not bad tasting, they're still a red, but they tend to be quite hollow, and they're just not what I'm after. Oh, and something else I wanted to show you. That's my one. Oh, that should be picked soon actually. I can see there's a split in there on that fruit. That's ready to pick right now. Actually, oh dang. It almost looks like a bird has bitten into it for the first time. Dang. It had to happen, I guess. So I better pick this immediately after this video. Yeah, but that's one dragon fruit that's formed in the dead of winter. It's pretty damn good, you know. Like I was saying, this last summer, the summer and autumn that passed, I got 4 crops of dragon fruit this year. And I'd even set one fruit, this one fruit here, that has ripened through winter. And it's ready to pick right now. I better get that immediately actually, because something's had a munch on that. So, gee, I better watch that. And I better watch this fruit too, because if something munched my dragon fruit, maybe it's going to munch my papaya too. Yeah, anyway, I thought you might find that interesting. Oh, another thing I can show you, I guess. You remember just only a few days ago I was saying I'd be picking this garden hard. Well, you see, that's only a few days, and I haven't even watered that garden since the last update. And look how much bigger the leaves are getting already. See, that's nearly ready to pick again. So maybe that'll give you an idea how quick it's growing. And I've just been picking this garden hard. But I've left it since the first part of this update. I haven't picked it since then. But yeah, I've been picking all this. This is a Ceylon spinach again. You know, most of the leaves were big like that one. You can see there's not many leaves like that left now, because I've been picking it so hard. But these small leaves, they'll get big again very soon. Yeah, okay. I'll give you another quick look around the back. I'll show you another garden I've got. And then I'll make you up this veggie wrap that I'm doing. That is just doing wonders for my health. It really is. It's my daily fix of raw green vegetables. It does wonders for me. Here's some of the vegetables I use. See, there's some clumps of spinach variety. I've never grown this variety before. They were very small seedlings. I just planted them in clumps. What do they call this? Spinach baby leaf. Yeah, it's not a bad spinach. Never tried it before. Oh yeah, and I've got parsley there. It's growing quite well. That's come up from seed actually. I threw a lot of seeds around at the beginning of autumn. And most of them didn't make it, the birds got them. But just a few of these I'd basically given up on the seeds coming up. And then just like, what is it, about 4 parsley plants have just come up wild. And they're bearing quite well. I'm getting a few leaves off them every day. So yeah, actually soon I should, well, I would like to just top this up some more with some more sugarcane mulch and plant more vegetables here, because it'll still be, you know, another couple of months before these papaya get big leaves and shaded out. So yeah, I've got room here, I've got sunlight and room to grow more vegetables. And pointing out that way, that's the north. So yeah, being winter, the sun's on an angle, so even when these papaya do grow up taller, there's going to be a few months where the sun is going to get in on the ground here, and I should be able to easily grow quite a few more vegetables. And as the on the ground underneath the papayas. Yeah, my ladyfinger bananas are doing okay. Those two are doing okay. They should even throw out some fruit soon. Fingers crossed. And here's my other little garden. This is where I get a lot of my vegetables every day. This is another garden I've been picking hard. It's doing quite well. I'm picking leaves off this every day. And this is the first time I've grown this plant. It's quite interesting. I think it's helping my breathing a lot. This is the horseradish. And yeah, it's so healthy and strong. Just keeps throwing up big leaves. Horseradish. And they say it's good for your lungs, and it really is, I think. And it's got anti-cancer properties. And people mostly just use the root, but the leaves are still good. And it's not the nicest taste. Although it's one of those herbs that you sort of, I think a lot of people wouldn't like the taste of it all that much. But as time goes on, it grows on you. You sort of get used to it, if you know what I mean. And a small amount in a salad is quite interesting. To add just a small amount. I'm making roll-ups with this. I just use one leaf, one of those big leaves, and then add a lot of other vegetables in with it. And it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's nothing fantastic. It's more, I'm just eating it mostly for medicinal reasons more than taste. And it has, medicinally, I think it's very good. It really helps my breathing. It's got mustard oil in it, in the horseradish. It's sort of got a peppery taste. Yes, a small amount in a salad can be very nice, but it's got to be a small amount. When you start adding too much, it starts getting yuck. It's not one of those leaves you just pick by itself and eat it. Like say my spinach, this perennial spinach here, that's delicious. You can just pick leaves off that, and it's just really yum. But that horseradish, it's another story. Oh, and this vegetable, I'm finding it's a very delicious vegetable as well. First time I've grown it. Midsummer red. Mitsuna. It's a good vegetable. I'm going to be looking out for that more often. It's the first time I've seen some of these vegetables in the local nursery. And happy I've planted it. That's a green Mitsuna, and that's the red. The red seems to grow a lot better. Both very delicious, very nice. Got the kale there. It's quite nice. Got one celery tree plant there. It's quite nice. The celery is pretty hardy and grows well. Yeah, all these things are growing quite well here. Oh yeah, basil there, mint. I've got a few tomato seeds here. Not sure if perhaps I'll try to grow them. They probably need moving. Transplant a couple somewhere else. This is kangkong. It sort of might be, I think it'd like more sunshine really. When I was in the Philippines, I saw, the first time I saw this plant, or the first and only time, was in the middle of, what could you say, there's another better word for it, but slums, again, essentially, in the middle of the slums, in a swampy area of slums. There was an area of land, perhaps about half an acre. It was just very swampy, and all the runoff from all the slum dwellings, all these tiny shacks, no roads, just paths through acres and acres of tiny little houses. Stacks and stacks of people just crammed into these tight areas, and all the runoff water from all their houses all ran into this kangkong patch. and fed this kangkong patch. Yeah, it seemed quite suspect, you know, as everybody's washing water and sewerage and everything just went into this swampy area, and they grew a patch of kangkong in it, and everybody was harvesting it, you know. So I think well, it's not ideal, but perhaps again, you know, if you're very poor and you got no food, it's certainly better than nothing. At least you're getting your green vegetables. But yeah, this kangkong, it was just growing on like sewage runoff and soapy water from washing clothes and all that sort of stuff for many thousands of people. Just going into this swampy area, this little patch of kangkong, like half an acre of kangkong. So yeah, I still haven't even tried that yet. Been hoping for it to get bigger first, so I haven't even tried that vegetable. But I've heard it's quite good. Yeah, and there's some more basil there. It tends to get a bit of sun, this spot. A bit of the winter sun gets in there from the north. And yeah, and this garden does quite alright. It's probably one of the sunniest gardens I have. More of that Mitsuma. Oh yeah, that's one of my perennial spinach, and I've picked it too hard. That's what happens, unfortunately. You know, that's it there again. It looks so healthy, doesn't it? It looks quite good. And yeah, it's sort of a delicate balance between how hard you can pick the plant. And you go that little bit too far and the plant just goes right back like that. So I won't be picking that again for a while. And hopefully it's going to come back. But it needs a good rest now. Yeah, I've got more mint there, more of that Mitsuma. The green Mitsuma, the red Mitsuma. This thing, I forget what this is called. It's another plant I've never seen before. Oh yeah, wasabi. Wasabi, am I pronouncing that right? I picked a few of those leaves. It's not bad. It's quite okay. More basil. Yeah, the celery. Kale. And this horseradish. But yeah, you know, I can't eat much of that. Like, I just have one leaf of that, so that's helping it to grow well too. It's not getting picked very hard. But yeah, that's very good for my health, I find. And I'll show you how I make a roll up with that when I finish off. I'll show you how I make a wrap, a vegetable wrap, and just pick it and eat it immediately. Don't let it wait, just more mint. Is sort of spreading. It's sending out runners, which is good. That's what I want. Oh yeah, that's another yellow Hawaiian pawpaw. That's just to confuse everybody. Because here in Australia we call the yellows pawpaw and we call the reds papaya. So that's going to confuse all my American friends, because they have a fruit called a pawpaw in America that's it's not a papaya. I've never tried it, but apparently it's quite nice. I think it's a native of the USA. It grows in colder regions, like less than subtropical, I think. It's supposed to be a very nice fruit, and they call it a pawpaw. So that's sort of one of the many things, the language differences between the different types of English around the world. It keeps us all from understanding each other as well as we should. And that's one of my soursops, one of my bigger ones that I've put in the ground. I've got another one in the corner there. It's getting a bit too much shade at the moment, but this one's getting a lovely lot of sun. It's you know, it's not really, it's pretty much, it's not growing because it's too cold, but it gets a lot of sun and it's quite well protected, so it's pretty happy. And it'll take off when spring comes. Yeah, and hopefully, yeah, another year and a half, and I could be picking fruit from this one and this other one at the back. So yeah, these are my other red papayas that, you know, that are coming back. You can almost, there's a couple of these. Oh, there's a good example actually. There's one that I've picked back, and you almost, I'll just pick these couple of branches for you. But it's getting to the stage now. See how that's going? It got chopped back there at the end of summer because of those fruit spotting bugs. And I've trained one branch to grow up. And it's getting to the stage you can hardly tell it's been chopped. It won't be much longer. Another month or so and you won't even know I've ever chopped it back. Yeah, so yeah, I'm quite surprised at the growth I've been getting there for winter. But it is just a nice warm spot here. And it's got that fence there to keep the cold westerly winds away. Sort of a bit of a microclimate here, so it's sort of blocked at the back, at the south where the cold winds come in. So in the summer sun's in the north. So it just turns into a hot little pocket here. It becomes quite warm considering it's winter in this spot. Yeah, so what else? Oh yeah, that's not the, you can see what growing there is the Madeira vine again, but that's a little bit of Ceylon spinach, looks almost the same, but I've got a little celery plant in there. It's been growing for quite a while actually. That's another perennial spinach plant in there. So it's quite shady really, but it's doing okay. There's a wild weed here that is very nice to eat. I'm not sure, I hope to grow some more of that. It tends to just grow wild, you basically just let it go. Although it's a little bit too shady for it there. There's one area I know they call it pigweed. But there's other names for it too that I can't quite remember at the moment. But it's a very nice weed. It's got quite a nice salty taste. It's very juicy and very nice in a salad. Well worth letting it grow. Well, if you're not careful it can almost become a pest too, but it's never been much of a problem for me here. I pull a few out and I let a few live. And yeah, it's quite a nice addition to a salad. Yeah, and a couple more ladyfinger bananas here. Again, that I hope will give me fruit next year. Yeah, so that's about it for the update. And I'll just switch off. This is going to be a bit of a challenge actually. I'm going to get my tripod in and try to show you how I make this veggie wrap. And it's going to be a little hard with only one hand. So some of it, hopefully my tripod can help me. So I really need a GoPro strapped to my head to show you this properly. I'm going to just get a lot of these vegetables and wrap them up in that horseradish leaf and then just eat it straight up. And I do that every day, and it's very healing. It's very good for my health. It's the sort of things I need to be doing if I want to live. So okay, I'll just switch this off for a minute and I'll start showing you this veggie wrap. Okay. I'll try and show you my veggie wrap. What I've been eating almost every day. I have this almost every day to get my green vegetables. Just eat them raw, pick them and eat them immediately. That's what I make this salad. And it's going to be a bit tricky because it's easy to make with one hand, or with two hands, but I've only got one hand here and one on the camera. So as a part of it, I'm going to use the tripod to help me, and the first part I'll try and do, I'll just pick with one hand and set it and put the vegetables down there, lay it down there on that piece of paper, clean paper. So yeah, this is my horseradish. Like I was saying before, this is a really good herb. It's quite peppery, and I'm mostly eating it not for taste so much, but medicinal reasons. A tiny bit in a salad can be quite good, but here there's a whole leaf. I'll start with that bottom leaf. Just pick the bottoms of these plants, not the top. And there's one horseradish leaf. I'll use that to wrap my vegetables up in that. Yeah, and this horseradish has good properties for lung problems, also anti-cancer. Very beneficial, I think. I really notice it. I really honestly notice a difference when I have one of these leaves every day. And like I was saying, yeah, a tiny bit, like if you put about that much, like half that bit in a salad, very nice, eh? But this much of a leaf, it's not too bad. I'm getting used to it, but it is a bit strong, you know, and it's not one of those plants that you can just, well, some people would, and you can get used to it. But when you just munch on a leaf, it's like you just sort of think, whoa, what the hell is that? You know, it's got quite a strong peppery taste about it. But here's my perennial spinach. This is delicious. This is a delicious vegetable. So yeah, I just add a couple of extra leaves to this wrap here. There we go. There's 2 spinach leaves. I'll just add to that. Got a bit of basil there. Pick the tips of those basil. Add to that. And this Mitsuma. And that as well. Oh, maybe not that leaf. That leaf. What's this stuff called again? I forget. It's another vegetable. Oh damn, I can't even see the tag. I forget what that stuff is. It's another, I think it's Asian vegetable I've never seen before. But I'll put in a leaf of that as well. Not too many because it's small. That plant needs more of a chance to grow bigger. I'll add a celery branch. Add that. So yeah, if you think I sound stuffed now, You should see how bad I'd be if I wasn't eating this every day. Like, honestly, you gotta get your greens. And you can pretty well heal yourself from just about anything. Maybe even what I've got. If you eat plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables. Yeah, so there's kale, a couple of kale leaves, three kale leaves today, a bit more basil. It's always very nice to add to a salad. Oh, I've got to get my breath. I find when I bend over, I get out of breath faster for some reason. And I don't know if you can hear all that traffic. Oh, that doesn't help. The air here is filthy. There's just so many cars here. And I've been here for 20 years now. Bit of mint. And I've been here for 20 years now. And that crappy air catches up on you. And especially in winter because there's not so much breeze. So the air just sort of lingers around all the polluted air. So I'm close to the beach here, but in summer we get good sea breezes. So it keeps the air much fresher. But yeah, winter's the hard time. Has been for quite a few years. And then the air just gets too rotten. Anyway, there's some more veggies. More Mitsuma. Just keep piling it up on that horseradish leaf. A bit more mint. A bit more of that Mizuma. Just pile it up. Oh yeah. A bit of parsley. This is very nice parsley. Rich in iron. Some of this spinach. The baby leaf spinach. Oh yeah, I've even got a bean there, look at that. One bean. Throw that in too. Pick the bottom leaves. Let the top leaves, give them a chance to grow. That'll probably do. A little extra. See again, yeah, if I had both hands, it'd be a lot easier to do this. Parsley, all sitting on my horseradish leaf. So yeah, and this does wonders. It really does. And my one bean. Okay. Now I'll just switch this off, get my breath back so I can talk better, and put this cam on a tripod. So then I can show you how I wrap it up and eat it. Heck, I almost forgot. I'll add a couple of leaves of this Madeira vine, this rampant weed that's just taking over my yard. Because again, like I was saying, this is edible too. It's not a noxious weed. The leaves are edible, and the leaves are very juicy actually. So yeah, they have a lot of moisture in them. I'll just break a short leaf to show you. I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite it's almost like a succulent. You know, there's quite a bit of moisture in there, and it's kind of mucusy even. So yeah, for that salad I'm making, a couple of leaves of that will be good, because the salad can be a little on the dry side. I find salads always need an extra tomato or cucumber to moisten them up. But seeing as they don't have any tomatoes or cucumber, yeah, 3 of these leaves will add some extra moisture to my roll-up salad. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever tried to do anything like this. Like I said, I really need a GoPro strapped to my head to do this, show you this properly. But I've put this cam on a tripod now, on a little short tripod. And so if I mess up here, please forgive me, this is my first attempt. But here we go, I'll just try and show you. And I'll just wrap this up. Just like that. Not doing a good job of it, am I? Yep, lost a couple of leaves. But yeah, just fold it over. Fold that horseradish leaf over, the big horseradish leaves. Now fold it again. And there it is, ready to eat. I've dropped a few bits, I've made a bit of a mess of it. Make sure I get that mint back in there. Yep, and there it is. And then you just munch into it. It's a vegetable wrap. Pick and eat immediately while it's still full of life energy. Okay, so now I've extended my tripod much taller, and that's my wrap. It's not quite wrapped as well as if I had both hands free without this camera, but it's still good enough. And now I just eat the damn thing. Hey, just straight up salad. And it's quite good, really. It's not too bad, you get used to it. I've been a salad eater for a long time, so you know, if you've never eaten before, it takes a bit of getting used to. But they're very good for your health. And you know, I think you should be getting your greens in you every day. I try to, I miss Sundays. But yeah, especially me, I should be doing this every day. And that horseradish leaf, like I was saying, It's damn good. It's very medicinal. And yeah, I'm getting more used to it. I'm getting more used to the flavour. Like I said, a tiny bit in a salad can be very interesting. But I've got more here. That one leaf in with all the rest of that. And the horseradish comes through quite strong. But still, it's not too bad. And I've even made a few of these with 2 horseradish leaves. And it's not too bad, but yeah, it's very strong, very peppery, and sort of, it's a flavour I've never tried before. It takes a bit of getting used to. It's quite good so far. I haven't had too much horseradish. Got a bit of mint there and parsley in that munch. Not bad, eh? A raw vegan wrap up. Is that what you'd call it? It's the best way to eat your salads. Straight out of the garden. And don't wait. You know, they say within hours even, the sugars in the vegetables start turning to starches. You know, as fresh veggies, yeah, they've got a bit of sugar. Or a small amount. They always taste much better eating them immediately. Pick and eat immediately. Why they had the life energy. You know, it's even like, you know, I won't deny that juices are good for you. Making raw vegetable and fruit juices. But there's some people who say that the life energy goes within seconds. And it kind of makes sense to me. I think, again, ideally, you know, juices have got their uses, you know, but ideally it's best you eat things raw and juice it in your mouth, you know. Chew it up and eat it. Now, that's the ideal. Chew it up and eat it. As you imagine, like, here's a part of the philosophy is when you're talking about live foods and getting as much of that life energy from the foods into your body. It's like, imagine if you juiced your hand, if you put your hand in a juicer. You know, it'd be pretty dead, wouldn't it? Be in a pretty sorry state. Same with cooking. Imagine if you put your hand in an oven and cooked it. Wouldn't be so good, would it? When it's raw and alive, like, that's just packed with energy. If you got that, was it that Curlon photography? You'd see powerful electrical fields around these vegetables. Yep, and just chew it up and eat it. Not bad, my friends. I'm missing a few days. Whenever I do this, I feel a lot better. I've missed 2 or 3 days of this, actually. I really do. You know, again, if you think I sound like I'm stuffed now, you ought to see how stuffed I am when I'm not doing this. You know, I couldn't recommend this to anyone enough. You know, and I still plan to heal. And the docs say I'm dead, but I plan to heal. Let's see if I can, huh? Let's see if I can succeed. Now, one of the more important things though is I've got to get out of here. So the air here is just so bad. Now, I haven't mentioned this much before, but I live right near a hospital, and it's so negligent. There's a high temperature incinerator here. And when it's winter, the pollution drops on this area really quickly. Now in summer with the sea breezes, it dissipates it a lot better, but in winter that pollution just comes out of that big incinerator, high temperature incinerator tower, and hits the cold air and it drops like a stone. And they only burn at night because they don't want us to see the smoke. It's so negligent. And this area apparently is the most populated area in the world with a high temperature incinerator sitting right in the middle of it. Yeah, and this stupid, negligent hospital, no, it's what they are, really, burn all of Queensland's hospital waste in this tower. And that's amputated limbs, it's bandages, it's expired medicines, that's all hospital waste. And they burn that in this high temperature incinerator. And it stinks here at night in winter. In winter you can smell it stinks. And it's just dropping heavy metals all over us. You know, and people have come out 20 years ago. People tried to shut them down. And they came out saying apparently there's cancer clusters around here. And, you know, that the authorities are watching. They're testing and they're watching, but they're not warning anyone. Yeah, so yeah, apparently there's cancer clusters, and it's been said by experts that it's because of these this high temperature incinerator in this hospital. It's a hospital that's supposed to be healing us, but they're poisoning this whole city. Yeah, and people came out there, even in the local paper. They even got heard on the local papers what they're saying about cancer clusters and the dangers of this high temperature incinerator in the middle of this city. But they got shut down. They got quietened down. I don't know what happened to them. I imagine their lives were destroyed, because that's how it goes. You know, if you live in a communist country, they race you off to Siberia. But if you're in the evil West, your life just falls apart. You know, if you're making waves, your life just falls apart. So yeah, you don't hear from those people anymore. You know, but I'm nearly dead anyway, so I think it doesn't hurt too much for me to say it. And more people have got to say it, you know. So yeah, that hospital tower just dumps heavy metals on us here. All sorts of horrible pollutants. So where I am here, it's not just that filthy road and all that carbon monoxide, it's the hospital tower. You know, and it tends to smell like burnt bandages. But you know, lately it's had different smells. I think they're experimenting, trying to cover up the smell. Like even a few days ago, it almost smelled like incense. But they're adding incense type stuff to try and make it smell make it smell better instead of that foul stink it has. Yeah, you know, and they've just spent millions upgrading that hospital, putting a new car park in. But I'm not saying, you know, like it seems we need high temperature incinerators. But not in a busy city, not in the middle of a busy city. It's really that entire temperature incinerator needs to be moved. See, apparently they only got the contract to build the hospital here many years ago, like I don't know, 40 years or more ago they built the hospital, and it was part of the contract. They would agree to put the high temperature incinerator in and burn all of the state of Queensland's hospital waste in that high temperature incinerator. And they're just still doing it, you know. And the city's just got bigger and bigger. And it's time that they move that incinerator. It's time they spend the money and they move it to a much less populated area. Because it's killing people. And it might even be, well, for me, and I've tried to say there's a whole list of reasons why I'm dying. But I think there's a very good chance But that incinerator is one of the reasons, at least, one of the reasons why I'm dying. There's a whole list of factors for me. You know, I might even have asbestos in my lungs when I was a teenager because I worked around asbestos a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And I know I've breathed some of the dust. You know, and they say you live on for quite a few years before it catches up on you. I'm nearly 60 now. Anyway, just something to think about. And the best I can do is eat this stuff. Hey, every day. And yeah, ideally to move. It's time I move. I've been here 20 years and it's all catching up on me. I need to be somewhere where the air is fresh. Because the air here is filthy. Look, good fresh salad. Can you hear me munching? That was the plan. I thought if I do it like this, you'll hear me munching away. Running out of battery now too, so if it does shut down, I'll just keep filming while I eat this whole thing, but hopefully I'll get it all in. But if it shuts down, I just want to thank you all for watching again. Much appreciated. Thanks for your support, and I'll catch you next time. Yeah, and like I said, I've said in other videos, this is quite a nice little spot, huh? Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's a Zen moment to be found. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're going through, this is a little Zen moment I've made for myself, this garden. I've grown it in something bad. There's something bad going on here, and I've tried to turn it into good. And now I'm enjoying this little Zen moment with you, my friends. So yeah, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're going through, there's a Zen moment to be found. There's a moment of peace and clarity to be found. Actually, speaking of clarity, I feel so much more clear. I haven't even eaten half of this yet, and I feel like a new person already. Like I've just had a zap of powerful energy, which I have. Oh, and they say when you're doing this, when you're eating these foods, it's focus on it. Think about it. Think about what you're doing. Because the more aware you are, the better it works. The more aware that I'm eating food that's just packed with life force energy, the better it works. So they say. Yeah, I think there's something in it for sure. And it's like when people pray and say grace before a meal. They say a prayer and thank God for the food they eat. And the Hare Krishnas, they say too, whenever you eat and drink, think of Krishna, think of God, give thanks to God. Yeah, this is not bad, hey. Those few leaves of Madura vine make a difference. It sort of makes it moister. It's not so dry. And this is quite good. munching away. Takes quite a bit of munching. Yeah, so usually my daily regime is I come out here every day barefoot, just walk around and do a few things with the garden. I find I can do less and less lately, but do what I can, try and raise my heart, get my lungs working a bit, get some sun on my skin, and I make a salad like this. Make a roll-up salad and eat it while I'm out here. I'm talking with my mouth half full, can you tell? I hope not. Yeah, munching away. Oh, I'm about halfway now, huh? Yeah, it's quite a meal, hey? Now the horseradish on the right. I'm glad I found that plant. It's damn good. You know, you Google horseradish. It's damn good stuff, hey? Anti-cancer, good for lungs. They say you can get too much mustard oil. Like you can get toxic if you have too much. That's from what I've seen on Google. But I'm sure a leaf a day won't hurt me. I could be doing that for a long time, and I'm only getting benefits from it. I'm sure that I'm getting benefits from it. But just something to keep in mind, that you can get too much mustard oil. I assume even that's more from the root, because the root's the main thing they grow it for. And there's a lot less of the oil in the leaves. Yep, it just appeared in front of me in the seedling aisle, that mustard plant. I think there was only one, so yeah, I'm glad I grabbed it. Oh yeah, there's 2 or 3 plants there too, growing in a clump. I just planted the whole clump. I didn't bother separating them. Same with the spinach on the left, the perennial spinach, that's a clump as well. There's at least 3 of those plants there. And actually, even though it looks good, I've just about picked enough of those leaves on that spinach as well. I find, yeah, it tends to look good. If I didn't pick it at all, it gets really big. It gets two times bigger, even 3 times bigger. But you know, I've been picking it hard now, and from what I'm finding, it's just about on the edge. If I pick too many more leaves, it's just going to suddenly shit itself, like that other one I showed you. It needs a rest. Actually, it's about time for it to have a rest from picking. Let it grow bigger again. So yeah, that's another reason why I really need some more vegetables. I need to plant another garden soon, so I can keep having a salad every day like this. Yeah, this is a nice one. I did a good job with this one. The horseradish isn't overwhelming at all. This one's working quite well altogether. And the slight tinge of the horseradish leaf just puts I guess I'm probably getting more used to it too. Getting more used to eating the horseradish, but yeah, just your knowledge, this is a very nice salad. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. There's a few with the horseradish. It had been a little bit of a struggle. Like I was saying, I wasn't eating them for taste, I was eating them for the medicinal benefits. But this one is very yummy. Yeah, and if you've never eaten many salads in your life, it's time you start. Just get used to it, hey. Get used to it. I remember when I was young, I grew up on a terrible diet. I had a lot of acne in my early teens, and I just started forcing myself to eat fruits and vegetables. And yeah, fruits just tasted bland to me. There wasn't enough sugar in them. It didn't taste like candy. It tasted like, weak, mild, bland candy. Bland yuck candy. And then after a while you realise fruits are just fantastic. So delicious. And vegetables, oh my God, I just hated vegetables when I was a kid. Because we never ate any. We'd just eat a little bit of boiled vegetable sometimes. And as time goes on, yeah, just make the effort. See it as a medicine. Just know it's doing you good, Know that it's good for you, and force yourself to eat it. And as time goes on, it'll just taste better and better. And you'll be amazed at how good it is for you. And you won't have overnight results. But, see, look how much better I'm breathing even now. See, before I was getting out of breath just talking too much. And now I'm blah, 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 and I'm breathing so much better. Just this quickly. But generally you won't notice many instant benefits. It's more of a long-term thing. You do this for 3 months, that's when you really start noticing benefits. 6 months, a few years, make it your lifetime regime. Just do it every day for the rest of your life, and you're going to have a lot more years in your life. I'm certainly going to live a lot longer doing this. And let's see if I can heal myself. You might find it interesting to watch. I'd still like to hope I can. The doctors have kind of pointed the bone at me. That's an Aboriginal saying, Australian Aboriginal saying, is when the witch doctors would point the bone at any of the members of their tribe, they'd just die. And the belief of that was like, they convince you to die. There might be more to that, but and same, it's not so good when if you hold doctors in a high regard and they suddenly tell you you're going to die. It really works against you. But anyway, I hope to prove them wrong. Let's see, because I think I don't hold doctors in all that high regard, because I think they're very foolish, and they tend to be they mean well, but there's a lot of false science there. It's just money motivated false science, and they've become like legal drug pushers. They can sell all sorts of terrible chemicals that have all sorts of terrible side effects. But this is the stuff that'll make you better. This is the stuff that's going to heal you. Raw vegan wrap. Pick and eat. Pick and eat immediately. Batteries are still holding out. Might even manage to eat all this before the camera dies. Let's see, especially if I stop talking so much. I'll show you something else maybe to change the view. Yeah, celery's well worth growing, hey. I've been growing that for a while now. When I was young and I had my own market gardens, because yeah, I've been a farmer for most of my life. When I was young and I used to have my organic market gardens, I never really grew much celery. But since I've been living here in the suburbs, I've grown quite a bit of it. And I find, especially where in shady areas, it's very easy to grow, and you get a lot out of it. You can pick it. See, I don't pick it as a whole plant. I just pick the bottom leaves off, and it can last for years. You know, I've had some that's just kept growing for 2 years before it's gone to seed. Growing in shady spots, and you can just regularly pick a stalk off, a celery stalk. Well, now I am getting very low on battery. Now it's red. So, yeah, might start flashing soon. As soon as it starts flashing, I'll wrap this up. The battery warning meter, might start flashing at me soon. It's saying it's red now, so it's sort of saying danger. It's about to die. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed my little video, friends. See, it's not a big garden, is it? It's just a tiny little bit, but I get a lot of salad out of this. You don't need much. Just a little bit makes a huge difference. Just a little bit of salad in your diet every day. You know, in many respects, in some of the poorer areas, it's you know, a little bit of greens every day. It's the difference between life and death, you know. It's the difference between having some degree of health and being very sick. Yum. Yum, yum. So yeah, that's not so big. Is it this garden here? Growing in that old patch that arsehole made for me. Just do the best I can with. I'm still in deep shit for it too, by the way. They still think I'm involved. And I still could go to jail for it. Got a big court case coming soon. But I've turned it into something kind of nice, huh? It's got automatic sprinklers. Had it already, so just stick it in the ground and the automatic sprinklers pretty well take care of it. Throw a bit of extra water on it sometimes. Going. Yeah, looking forward to that soursop. See, just poking its head above that papaya there. Looking forward to getting some fruit off that. Apparently that's very medicinal too. Cancer fighting properties in the soursop fruit. Even the leaves, apparently, boiling the leaves, making a tea from the soursop leaves. I might even try that when this tree gets bigger. See if that can help to heal me. And the papaya, of course, that's really good food. Really super good health food. So, hopefully by spring or summer, I'll be picking some of those fruit. Some of those yellows. And these smaller red papayas. I'm hoping the same with them by late summer, autumn, certainly by next winter. But yeah, I think late summer, autumn, all going well, I'll be picking fruit from here too. I'll have a lot of fruit. I'll have a lot of red papayas. No chemicals, all organically grown. And some ladyfinger bananas, can't wait to get a few of those. Going. Isn't that amazing how much better I'm breathing? See, I'm even a bit amazed too. Because usually when I'm eating this, I'm just quiet, you know, and eating it here in the sunshine. And I know I'm feeling better, but here's a test for you all to see this. Look how much better I'm breathing after eating that. And I'll tell you, I'm feeling clearer. My brain's feeling so much clearer. I can put my words together so much better. It's an instant hit of goodness, my friends. It's instantly shot some life in poor old me. Poor old clapped out me. It's just had an instant hit of life energy. Nearly gone now. Very enjoyable. Makes my poos green. Hey, when you're, you know, as the old Dr. Bernard Jensen used to say, when you're green inside, you're clean inside. Hey. Oh, I just forgot to mention too, that horseradish. Good for getting rid of parasites too. Yeah, it's very good for cleaning out your insides, that horseradish leaf. Good for getting the critters out. Getting the bugs out of your system. Nearly gone. I think I could run out of power before I finish eating this. My battery's just so low. And as soon as the battery starts flashing, I'm going to wrap it up. But let's see if I can finish eating it. I'll stop talking so much and just eat. Well, you saw that, right? Just recapping. You saw I was flat out picking those veggies, right? You could hear me almost dying just picking those veggies. And now I've nearly eaten them. Hey, think about it. Even I'm thinking about it. It's pretty amazing. Hospitals need to be feeding this stuff to their patients instead of that garbage they give them. Going. Yep, that's it. Well, I've got to wrap up, folks. It's just about to die. So I didn't quite finish it. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.